A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is the Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights contained in the United States Constitution, and it is a hot topic of controversy in our country right now.
According to the Brady Organization, a campaign to reduce shootings by at least 50% within the next 8 years, 315 people are shot and killed every day in America, including 46 children and teens. When tragedies like mass shootings occur, people begin to wonder, should there be stricter rules and regulations when it comes to guns in the U.S.?
In 1994, a federal assault weapons ban was passed by Congress. This made it illegal for people to obtain certain semi-automatic rifles, such as AK-47s and AR-15s. However, whether or not this made a difference regarding hostile shootings is uncertain when taken into account that it was only in place until 2004 and was not renewed.
A problem that we are faced with is that every day there are gun shows going on throughout the country. In these instances, people do not have to go through background checks and extensive paperwork. Instead, people can obtain multiple guns, and the government has no knowledge of it because there is no paperwork exchanged. If someone were to go into a normal gun shop, they would have to go through background checks, paperwork, and have to wait a certain amount of days before they can even buy the gun.
In 1999, 15 people, including the perpetrators, were killed at Columbine High School in Columbine, Colorado, by two students, Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris. The weapons used included 2 shotguns, an automatic rifle, 99 homemade explosives, and 4 knives. The guns were obtained by a friend of the two at a gun show. This just proves how easy it was to obtain a gun in America not even 20 years ago.
Wouldn't stricter gun laws stop horrible tragedies like Columbine?
Columbine would not have been prevented by more gun control. The fact of the matter is, nobody likes to talk about, is all the gun control laws already on the books that these kids broke, and the person who sold them firearms broke. None of them prevented Columbine.
To obtain a gun in Massachusetts, first you have to get a gun license, known as a license to carry or an LTC. The other license you can get is a firearms identification card, known as a FID. The only major difference is that the LTC allows you to carry concealed weapons. LTC applicants also have to be at least 21 years of age, while FID applicants only have to be 14 years of age.
The debate over gun rights versus gun control is a heated one. Here's a look at some arguments from both sides.
But the fact is, 92% of Americans support background checks for all gun sales, and that's the same percentage, 92% of gun owners.
Yeah, I mean, you have a gun at home?
Yeah, it's legal in the United States. It's part of our Constitution. You know, the right to bear arms is because that's the last form of defense against tyranny.
And do you see any link between that and these sorts of incidents?
No. Nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? If somebody wants to kill people, you know, they don't need a gun to do it.
Makes it easier though, doesn't it?
Not really. You can use you can strap explosives on your body. They do that all the time.
For pro-gun rights and anti-gun control, it states in the Second Amendment that it's the right of the people to own and bear arms, and if this amendment were to get repealed, that would be stripping people of some of their liberty and means of self-defense. Many of those who support gun rights believe that a reduced rate of suicide is not a good enough reason to repeal the Second Amendment, because it would allow more danger in their lives while protecting a relatively small group of people. If firearms become outlawed, those who are interested in purchasing them may resort to doing so illegally.
The background check is a totally useless crime-fighting tool. We've had upwards of 20 million background checks in 1 year, and only a couple of handfuls of convictions result from those background checks. They don't identify criminals because most criminals realize there's going to be that check and they get their guns some other way.
And I got a call that there had been a shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School, and then I got another call telling me that there had been kids involved. Because in the wake of Sandy Hook, my eyes have frankly been opened to the catastrophe of gun violence in America and the inability to explain our exceptionally high levels of gun homicide with any data points but our gun ownership rates and our lax gun laws.
The arguments for anti-gun rights and pro-gun control are that banning firearms will lead to an extremely reduced rate of homicide and suicide in America. This includes mass shootings. Semi-automatic weapons are not needed for hunting, and assault weapons are extreme in cases of self-defense. Much smaller devices are more practical in those situations. And guns are more dangerous to the people than protective. Other institutions are in place to protect civilians who don't need to carry around guns themselves, which may lead to an unjustified death. It is evident that the citizens of our country are divided over this issue. Should we be allowed to buy guns as we have been, seeing that it is written in our Constitution? Or should there be more laws enforced to prevent the deaths of innocent people? No matter what you think, there are many ways you can make your voice heard, and it is important to do so to bring this debate to an end one way or another.